But there are people on this planet who they're not copying you, mimicking you just for fun. There are a lot of people who will fight for your essence. Okay? You know how I deal with a lot of clients who say, well, Jam, I feel like my life has been stolen from me, or I feel like, the narcissist, because I deal with a lot of people with narcissistic survivors. The narcissist tried to take this from me, and the narcissist took my family from me, and my friends, and everything from me, my job, my everything. And like I tell these people, and I'm telling this to you, whoever you may be that's within the sound of my voice, people cannot steal from you without your permission. If you want something and it rightfully belongs to you, you can go get it at any time. The only reason why they have it is because you gave consent without your knowledge. You did not know that you came into agreement to give someone your soul signature, or even know that they had a life path. We're in a society that has conditioned us to be in default. So most of us, we don't know anything outside of whatever society has told us. Whether it's watching football, basketball, just playing football, basketball, cheerleading, watching TV, going to work, paying bills, going to the club, maybe going to church here and there, just having a little fun. And, in your job, your overall goal is to maybe, well, back in the day, make $100,000 or more, have a little white picket fence, a little dog, a husband and wife, and then retire and you die. That's what you have been conditioned to just want in life, because that's the way everything is programmed. But what about all of the intricate details in between all of this, right? What about the trials and tribulations in between all of this stuff that we have been programmed to aspire to, or have or settle for? Many people don't understand that this whole thing is a spiritual thing in human form. Everything, even the program that has been set up for us to abide by, it's all set up, okay? And when you're living your life in default, it's like you're consciously not aware of, you only believe what your eyes can see. You can't really, you're basically not participating in your life. You're living your life in default. So even though you think that these options and these choices that you're making are your own, they're not. They're the choices that someone else who is governing over you has given you. So you can go here, you can go there, or you can go there. But it's under the guise that you have free will, but you don't have free will, okay? You can just go to the places in which I say you can go with my permission under the guise of options. Just like any parent, you go to the store, you take your child to go get some shoes, and you say, hey, you can get those shoes, the green ones, the blue ones, or the red ones. Well, the child believes that they have choices because they have more than one choice to choose, but these are all the options that you approve of, right? So in essence, this is I'm the master of your reality, and you just doing what I'm saying, but you believe that you're making your own choices. So that's how most of us live, in default. So you don't know that you actually have the power to participate in this game of life. But many of us don't know that until spiritual warfare hits you. The gift of spiritual warfare is, even though it presents itself as a curse, it is an opportunity. And this is where anybody who is a person of faith, this is where the story of Joseph gets very juicy. Whatever you had, whatever was in your soul and inside of your DNA for you to have, like inside your soul signature, whatever was inside of that soul signature for you to have in this lifetime, you can still have it if you do not give it or forfeit it to someone else. Okay? If someone is more spiritually equipped or aware than you are, this goes back to the saying that someone can see your star before you can, or someone can see that you're bright before you can, or people know your strengths, or people know who you are before you do. If they can get to you before you get to you, they can sack you, they can rob you, just like the little pirates on the ships of Europe. They can come take your treasure. Before you know it, you've been robbed blind. And by that time, you're behind the 8 ball, because now you got to go recover it, right? But many people never wake up to this knowledge of self, right? So in the ancient times, they said, know thyself, and to thyself be true. Well, that type of information was only privy to the higher ups, people in the fraternity, sororities. Common man, you didn't know nothing. You just went out there and built and worked the markets and do whatever we tell you to do. But those who are higher up in terms of divine knowledge, they understood who man was and who man was not. They understood I can be a god over another man if I have knowledge of his identity and I have knowledge of mine. I can be a god over your reality. So when people can see you are a very bright star, and they can see, and you could be a bum on the street, okay, because of life circumstances. You may have just been born into a family system of poverty, a dysfunctionality, mental illness, just you just was dealt a bad hand in your physical life, but in your spiritual, you're supposed to be a millionaire. You're supposed to be rich and wealthy. You're talented. You're gifted. You can paint, or you can sing, or you can dance, or you're a great orator. You have great communication skills, or you're gorgeous, or you're handsome. But there are gifts inside of the physical being. And if people can see that before you do, they can penetrate without your consent your soul and go get it. And the way they do that, a lot of times, if they're not a practitioner, they can consult someone higher up in occultic knowledge to go get you from you. Okay? And the way they do that is without your consent, they can't get you to say, yes, you can have my life path. But what they can do is they can provoke you through an emotional, low vibratory state to get you to come into agreement to fight with them. Okay? So they want to try to get you at a low energetic or emotional state so that you can fight with them, so it can be just cause to attach an intention on you. You might believe that this is bizarre, but it happens every day. So you have to initiate a person into a state of warfare in participation with them so that it's justified to do what you're trying to do to them. Okay? So the way that they do that, and talking to my clients when we're talking about going back and getting your destiny from narcissists, is the narcissist's number one go-to is provoking. We call it reactive abuse, but no, they're provoking you because they have an intention set. Most, if not all, narcissists are witches and warlocks. All of them are dark spirits. They're not actively practicing it, sometimes consciously. Some of them are and some of them are not, but it's an entity that is attached to them, old ancient entities that know your lifeline. It knows your bloodline, it knows your lineage, it knows your heritage, it knows everything about what you're supposed to be, you as a person. It knows your family lineage, it knows everything about you guys. All human beings on this planet, just like in the movie Us, those tethered people, those shadow people, those are demons. Spiritually speaking, those are the demonic. They follow you. They watch you. They are a shadow of your natural soul. And they want to inhabit that physical being at all costs to live out your life. They want to take your life and live it out if they can. So this is another kind of like a nuanced layer to what I'm saying, because it's a lot of moving parts to all of this. But these beings, these entities that get within these narcissists, because narcissists are demon magnets, okay? They get attached they get attacked and attached by all kinds of entities because they sleep around. They just treat their body like a dump truck. So narcissists, they have a lot of attachments on them. So it's all kind of legions of demons on narcissists. When you see one narcissist, like a man or a woman, and it looks like just one person, you're dealing with a person that has legions of spirits and entities on them. So many attachments on them. And a lot of these different attachments, some of them could be principalities, some of these could be demons, some of them are lower, some are higher, some are low-ranking demons, high-ranking demons, whatever. But when you're dealing with a narcissist, they have a multitude, a plethora of addictions and issues that you can't even fathom. So trying to save them, it never works because they are literally tortured souls. They've been hijacked. But anyway, the principalities that reside within these narcissists, if it chose you because it's a principality that is trying to usurp your life path before you awaken to yourself, to keep you in a vicious cycle, whatever your family lineage curse, whatever their issues are, to keep you trapped in those curses. You're not supposed to get out of ancestral curses. So they're going to use a narcissist to challenge you. Almost every empathic person I know had a malignant narcissist come into their life, whether it's their mother, father, boyfriend, girlfriend, baby dad, baby mother, wife, husband, sister, whoever. one malignant narcissist that was so obsessed to want their life. Now, other people just may copy you, downplay you, what have you, but it's always this one very obsessive, malignant one that wants your life. They're not after nothing else. They want to be you. They don't want to copy you. They don't want to do anything. They want to be you so bad that they will study you, master you, and then try to erase you off this planet. And I'm not saying get you to go somewhere and hide. They want you gone. Okay? They want the life path so bad and so desperate that they want you gone. And so the way that they do that is going back to like those European settlers. They watch you. You understand? They will observe you for a while. They never just strike you. They watch you for a while. But the first mission is flattery. Just like the European settlers in the Americas and in Africa, these people, they came, what? Bearing gifts. Listen to me. Let me tell you how this destiny swap works. They come bearing gifts. Every witch, every warlock gives. Almost every witch or warlock I know, their main source of taking from people is to give first. They come bearing gifts and they're overly generous. You just think you so fly and you such a finesser that this person just showering you with gifts and you just got this good mouthpiece, or you're so gorgeous or you're so beautiful and they just love you. They're giving you all their money and they just taking care of you, and whether it's a girl or a guy, okay, they're just showering you and massaging your feet and telling you how much you're the most beautiful thing in the world and you're their soulmate, and they don't even know you, haven't even known you 2 weeks, but you're their soulmate. Flattery. The number one tactic for anyone that wants to steal something from someone is to flatter you by charming and disarming you, because they want to put a blindfold over your eyes, okay? If they come in your life and they find out that you don't know who you are, and it's very easy to find out if a person don't know who they are, because you overextend, you're overly accommodating, and number one, they test you to see if you're willing to do something for their comfort at your expense. If you do something for their comfort at your expense, like they will pretend to be sick to see if you will take off work. If you take off work for a whole day to make sure that this person is okay, they know you're a damn fool. And I know you think that that is just a nice, caring thing to do, but no, to miss out on money when you know that you have a livelihood just because somebody's sick, they'll know that you will cut off your hand to make sure that they have. They know that, and they'll find this out very early on. So they come bearing gifts, and they come, what you say, Pete, please repeat. I don't even know. I'm just flowing. The Holy Spirit is flowing through me. But I'm just saying they'll test you to see if you are self-sacrificing, if you will sacrifice yourself for their personal comfort. So they start testing you very early, like the first week, 2 weeks. And if you have mother wounds, father wounds, abandonment issues, neglect issues, family trauma, or you just a desperate person, because you could be a gorgeous man or woman, but you're just desperate for love so bad because you have a lot of childhood issues, well, and you struggle with rejection. If that's the case, they will create a test to see if you will sacrifice yourself. So they'll pretend to be so sick to see if you'll take off work to go get them some medicine or whatever. They'll just find out what your weaknesses are and see if you'll sacrifice yourself. If you'll sacrifice yourself, you do not know yourself, and they got a lick, okay? Once they find out that you don't really love yourself, they have a lick. And a lot of times they also ask you a lot of questions about your family life. And early on, they're trying to see if you have trauma wounds, if you are close with your family, which is why I tell clients to just lie. Just tell people, oh, yeah, I got a big family. You can have nobody. You can't stay in your family. You don't even talk to these people. But you never tell a person you have nobody. Why would you do that? And you could be the strongest person in the world, but you never tell people you have nobody. You always say you have crazy uncles, crazy, I got crazy people. Yeah, they'll go to jail about me. You just tell people you have a whole network of people with you willing to ride for you, but they try to find out if you are alone, if you are desperately in need of help. All of these are weaknesses, but the overall goal is ultimately to become you and you to become them. That's the goal. Any narcissist that comes into your life, it is they on a spiritual mission. They're on an assignment. They're not coming for nothing but to come and take from somebody. And they're going to do that whether it take them 6 months or a year. Some of these people, they'll do it for a lot of years. People think, oh, narcissists are quick and fast. covert malignant narcissists are not quick and fast. They will study you for a while. They watch your social medias. They'll watch your family social medias. If you are very like a magnetic person, if you're like a popular loner, or everybody kind of know you in the city or in the town, but nobody really knows you. We just see you coming and going, but you fly. You're a fly girl or a fly guy. You really just kind of be to yourself, but everybody wants you. He wants you. She wants you, but you don't let too many people get close to you. People kind of watch that, okay? And as mysterious as you think that is, if you don't know yourself and you have this allure, that narcissists want to be in that spot, because it's all about playing God. It's all about playing God for narcissists. So needless to say, because I'm kind of jumping around here, these people will study you for a while. Some of these people, you and think about narcissists, other narcissists will hire other narcissists to get to that spot. And what I mean is, like, they'll fight for the essence of a person. Two narcissists will fight to be one person. You may not believe this, but this is true. So let's say I'll give you an example. Let's say your mother's a narcissist, or your cousin or your aunt is a narcissist, and they have tried to do everything in the spiritual realm to suppress you so that you don't come into the knowledge of yourself, because the overall goal is to pretend to be better than you. Now, you are somebody that is destined to be larger than life, but from the time you were a child, everyone knew that you were destined for success or to be something amazing. Well, you have witches and warlocks in certain families who can see the star on a child, and so they will read your energy signature without your consent. It's never one, okay? So if you are a person who is destined to break a bloodline curse, right? I'm talking about a big one. If you come from a family of dysfunction and toxicity, then you probably come from a family whose genes are cursed. Unfortunately, the path has been blocked. A lot of times it's because they engage in occultic practices. They're engaging in a dark lifestyle without you knowing it, or maybe they're in secret sororities, fraternities, they're in secret covenants and stuff that you don't have any knowledge of. Or, maybe it was a grandmother or a grandfather who didn't want to be poor anymore, and they tried to go to the dark side to go get some money. Okay, so they went to a crossroad and did some of this and went to see the lady in the background, and you know what I'm saying, in the back of the country town, and she told them to do this and do that and give up a sacrifice, and you'll have a little taste of money. And it probably worked, but maybe they stopped giving up the sacrifices or something. I don't know. Or your grandmother was desperate for love, and she did a love spell or binding spell on somebody and took somebody's husband or whatever. But people do things, especially in the olden times. People would do things for survival, and if they had to go to the dark side to create a spiritual contract to do it, then they would. And unfortunately, they had no idea that even though they wanted the gratification of a forbidden love or money that they didn't earn, they were going to have to pay for it. The Bible says the sins of the father, it rests on the child or the children. Whatever your mother and your father did, it will come back to you in the next lifetime. If the debt has not been paid or canceled, and nobody has did the work to cancel the trespassing of another, you will face suffering. If your mother or father is doing things in this lifetime to make other people's lives a living hell, that will come on you. If you're a father and you dog women out, people are going to dog your daughter out. I'm just telling you the truth. If you are a mother and, you were a horrible mother to your son and things of that nature, like whatever not to your son, but to other people's sons, you think you're going to raise your son right. When your son become an adult, even if he's a good man, he's going to face the spiritual warfare that you caused on the lives of other people. It will come back around in this lifetime or the next, because it's only universal law. It's only spiritual law and protocol. It's only right because it's what you gave and it's what you will receive in some form or another. So a lot of the lives that we're living, the spiritual warfare, is coming from other people who have done any other things in their lifetime. So just going back to your star as a child, you come and be portaled into on this planet, whether you think you're empathic, a healer, a prophet, anointed, chosen, or what have you. You are birthed into the worst family system because you're supposed to balance out a scale. There's an imbalance in the spirit. Someone did something along the way to create a blockage on this bloodline, this heritage, this this lifeline, not this lifeline, this lineage or what have you. So what happens is God gives this family you. Okay, you look like a person, but you really are your angelic assistance in the physical form. Now, you could believe it or not, but this is what the Holy Spirit has gifted to me. And this is what makes sense to me when I did my spiritual investigation on my own situation as a generational curse breaker, trying to make sense of these things because the physical eyes could not process what a lot of us were enduring. It just didn't make any physical, logical, practical sense. So, in my time of despair in the darkest hour, I, consulted God for revelation on these things. And this is what was gifted to me. You get portaled here to right a wrong. Okay, someone trespassed it and someone created a blockage for this bloodline for many generations. So if you look at your grandmother, your mother, and then you look at your grandfather, your father, and then you can see some of the same struggles and tests and challenges that they face. It did not escape you. No matter how good you think you are, no matter how much you mind your business and you say, oh, I didn't do nothing to nobody, it never escapes you. So what happens is you are a very bright child at a young age. And the way that witches and warlocks in a family system find out who is questions. Children are inquisitive. There are some children who ask more questions than others. If you are extremely intelligent as a child, you ask a lot of questions. You're very inquisitive, very curious. And from the gate, I don't care if you think these people are the most drunkest, crackheads or whatever, they can find out who you are by your questions that you ask that other children may not ask because you are observant. And you say, well, mama, what that mean? Or daddy, what that mean? And they'll say, go somewhere and sit down. Grown folks are doing grown folks things and whatever. And they'll shoo you off, but they're watching you. Okay? When people are doing things that they have no business doing, pleasure seeking, a lifestyle of, not just a lifestyle where it's not structured, it's addictions. They have demons on them. That's why they're doing addictions, okay? That's why they prostitute. That's why they smoke it and drink it. That's why they're gambling and card game parties and shooting dice and all that. That's demonic, okay? It's ungodly. It's nothing godly about it. So you come and asking all kind of questions. They tell you, stay at the child's place, go on about your business. But after a while of a pattern of you asking certain things, seeing things that you shouldn't be seeing and they shouldn't be doing, but you're still trying to get knowledge, they watch you because they say, well, hold on, this child is wise beyond their years. They're observant or they're watching me. And it makes me feel very uncomfortable. And for some people, they'll start dropping you off over your auntie house and all these people. Now, if your mom or your dad is full of addiction and they're just irresponsible, they'll drop you off over people's houses who do practice occultic knowledge. And these people are not like your mama and daddy. They may not drink or smoke, and they may seem like good church-going people and decent folks, but they may be a part of some things that you have no idea about, and they'll start watching you. Okay, even though they're supposed to be watching you, no pun intended, supposed to be babysitting you, they're doing more than just watching you. They're observing you and they're studying you because these people who are in these secret situations and arrangements, they're always extracting so that they can live a lifestyle that they don't deserve and that they don't work for. And so they try to use unsuspected people, the most pure people. And what's more pure than a child? Okay, there's nothing more pure than a child, especially a very divine child. So they start studying you very early on. And you're very intelligent, you're very talented, and they'll even try to tell you, oh, sing that song we like to hear. And do a dance, do them little dances. And you're thinking that this is just innocent, okay? We come from families where we downplay the dark intelligence of people. You don't know what kind of family you were born into. Wherever there is a family of debauchery, and what I mean, I'm talking about forbidden type of behavior, stuff that should not be going on. It's going on because somebody is, keeping that type of dark cultural norm there intact. So these people are not as stupid as you think that they are. And I don't care if they talk like, yeah, where y'all going? I don't care how ignorant you think people sound. People are not as dumb as you think that they are. And you were not as dumb as they thought you were. You just were suppressed and your soul's identity was in a state of amnesia because you were in a physical child form. So God could not introduce these parts of you to you, because how can you process as a human child what you can't process divine knowledge as a human child in that form. But what ends up happening is these people who are more on the dark and occultic side, they start doing things to certain children in these families to extract their purity for like a charge or for fuel or for favors in the spirit, to get more power, to get more beauty, to get more money, to manifest off of the energy of these people. And the way that they do that is by taking from you. So the way they do that is break you. I have to break you to extract, to get you to come into agreement. So you don't know that you are, but I have to become a master of your lifeline. So what they do is they break you early, whether it be psychological abuse, sexual abuse. I mean, I can't say too much, but whatever it is, they crack this person open first. And the way they do that is trauma. Trauma becomes an open door to basically just start like spiritual piracy, to start just stealing your stuff. And they can do that as early as you are a child. They study you, they watch you, and then they go in for the kill. And the way that they do that is trauma, crack you open through something traumatic. And sometimes they do it over time, especially if it's like a very intelligent child. They slow roast you through psychological abuse by breaking down your confidence. But they can't just right away do it. They start doing it by ignoring you. If you are a very talented child, first they start off, flattering you. Hey, sing that song and throw that ball and jump real high and do your little dance. And after they fatten you up with flattery, then they go in and start ignoring you. Okay? You'll be doing your little dance to try to get your auntie, your aunt, your mom, your dad, get their approval, get them to look at you. They will ignore you on purpose. Or they'll find another child who's not as talented as you or not as talented at all and act like they're more gifted than you. But this is all to start extracting and taking from your star. It's all about manifesting you away from you to put themselves in a better position in life. This is the beginning of destiny swapping. But to rob you from yourself, they first have to just take your whole entire confidence. Because if I can take your confidence, I can take you away from your identity, even if you are a child who don't really know no better. So that's when they start to do all of the ignoring you, dismissing you, putting you in competition with people who are way less gifted or talented than you. Giving people better treatment and giving you very little, maybe buy the other siblings some shoes and make you wear hand-me-downs or secondhand stuff. Like, these people are very, very strategic. It's very subtle. It doesn't look like a lot is happening, but a lot is brewing and a lot is happening. And they start young, confidence robbing, chipping away at your star to make themselves feel better, to make themselves feel more empowered than you, to make themselves feel like a master and you a slave. This is all this is about. And then over time of conditioning you to accept this type of treatment, because you don't know no better, you don't have nowhere to go, you're a kid. But as you develop into this type of shell of yourself as a person, you're in a state of amnesia. This is a spell cast. You don't know somebody casted a spell, but they've robbed so much of yourself and they've empowered themselves and manifested a good life off of robbing your confidence, that by the time you become like a teenager, you're probably, thinking about taking your life, don't fit in with your peers, you're kind of recluse, you deal with a lot of depression, self-consciousness. Many people, they don't give you any compliments. You can be drop dead gorgeous. But in these dysfunctional, cursed family systems where there's witches and warlocks, they don't give you any compliments. So you don't even know that you are beautiful physically. I mean, like conventionally attractive. So what happens is you've been conditioned so much and robbed so much from yourself. Spiritual piracy has been such a norm that your friends become like your family. You understand? Like, you choose friends just like those dysfunctional people. You choose boyfriends and girlfriends just like these dysfunctional people. Your life choices become a mirror of these dysfunctional people because you don't know that you are beautiful. You don't know you're intelligent. You don't know that you're talented. You don't know that you're gifted, because way before you was probably even 10 years old, this witch or this warlock or this principality worked through these people to start just dimming your star early on, stealing and extracting from you, living fed off the spiritual hog early on. And what happens to a person is you deal with cycles of abuse. You don't think it's abuse because this is your norm, but your friends betray you all the time. You feel excluded from the group. You'll go into a group and you'll even start the group. Okay. You'll be the leader and then you end up being the outsider very, very early, like 2-3 months in. It don't take very long for people to switcheroo your energy. Your energy starts to get, without you knowing it, people are able to kind of manifest and start swapping places with you teenage years, early 20s. And you're like, why do I keep going through the same cycle? Why do I keep meeting the same people? Why do I keep meeting the same spirit in different bodies? Someone did that to you early on. From the beginning, they put you in a state of amnesia. They casted a spell of forgetfulness on your soul so that you will not be able to tap into that treasure. See, they can tap into the treasure at will because they knew you. They studied your star. So they were able to, unbeknownst to you, extract from you at will. It's spiritual piracy. It's thievery. So they could just tap into you by doing trauma to you. Anytime they traumatize you, they're able to just like open the door and go get what they want. You can go get some gold, some rubies, some pearls. What do you want? So they do it through trauma. You listen to me. They traumatize you, then they go open the door and go take your stuff because you're at a low energetic state and you forget yourself here. You understand? You cannot find yourself in a place where you're depressed. You cannot find yourself if you are confused. You cannot find yourself if you are abused. You're lowly. You feel like a victim to circumstance. So in essence, you have agreed without agreeing. You did not say it with your mouth, but your downtroddenness and your victim mentality has agreed and consented to a spell that you did not know was casted on you. So that's when they are able to harvest and feast off of you to manifest the life of their desires. Get a brand new car, let's go cause some pain to Angela. You want a brand new house, let's go provoke Dave. You want your child to go to school? You want your child to go to a certain type of school? Let's go spiritually go cause some damage, to Riri. Y'all may think that this is a joke or this sounds bizarre. This is happening. When you want something, go cause pain to this person because they are rich in the spirit. Now, what happened was you were supposed to be in a state of amnesia forever. People were supposed to feast off of you forever. So many people try to get to you and they all, sometimes they'll work together and then sometimes they'll fight over you. It had nothing to do with you. Okay, it's your soul. It's your favor. You are gifted. Life just works for you. You're master manifester. You could just cough and have a desire and it just falls in your hand. Okay, it's always yes and amen. Your whole life has been. People will cause you pain and they're like, "How are you getting out of this?" Life just works for you. But so because everything comes easy for you, they started to notice that this child is gifted, this child is favored. There is a powerful force that is invested in this particular person. So in order for the family to get ahead at the expense of this person, we have to go extract from that person. So your mom will get on board, your sister, your uncle, your I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I'm saying people will get on board with this witchcraft and they'll form a covenant. Now, they may not know that's what they're doing, but many people are aware that that's what they do, that you're the sacrifice to extract the riches from. But you can't go access yourself. So the goal is to keep you slow, sleep, traumatized, crying all the time, desperate for love, running and chasing after our acceptance and all of this, because this is what keeps us powerful. As long as we can keep you low, we'll feel high. As long as we can keep you a have not, we'll have. As long as we can keep you in the dark, we're in a superficial light. So that's what they do. So the game plan for everybody is to bring you down and keep you down. If y'all want cars and clothes and money and shoes and attention, because that's what you naturally have. Every chosen, every healer, every empathic person, you're magnetic. Life pulls to you. It almost submits to you at will. But if you don't participate, you don't know, I can just go get whatever I want. Okay? God has favor on you. They knew. And they did it very early. Tried to sacrifice you in many ways. So what happens to you is you're not supposed to access this treasure. It had nothing to do with cars, clothes, shoes, status. It's you. It's the essence of you. So that family, they do it early. Now what happens is you start to meet people just like the family, the friends and the lovers who are in the same energy or the same type of spirit, because all human beings are vessels of light or darkness. All of us, everybody. So either you are a vessel of light or you're a vessel of darkness. But most of us who have been in these tethered situations where we were strangers to our own souls because someone had casted a spell of forgetfulness on us. We were in a state of amnesia. We did not know who we were. We did not know who God was. We did not know that there was favor on us. We didn't know that we were full of treasures and riches and wealth. Someone had taken our lives very early on. And many people, if you come from a dysfunctional family system, sometimes they just barely get in the head. Whenever they want something, they just go put you on an altar and go get it. Very easy to do when you don't know. And that was a secret. You understand the way that witchcraft works or occultic knowledge works? Occult means hidden. Occultic means hidden knowledge. So the way that it works is you're in the dark. Okay? That's how it works. You're in the dark. Everybody's in the know. Everybody knows but you, because you are the one that they're extracting from. You the lick. You're the duck that's being plucked. So the whole thing of the matter is that you were supposed to always be in the dark. You were never supposed to know. What happens is people get greedy. You understand? People get greedy. And these are your malignant, arrogant narcissists. These are the ones that get greedy. Because what happens is, whether it's a lover, a friend, or whoever, they get to witness your glory without you knowing it. Because in default, like even in your default, you still do stuff like people like, what the hell? How can you do that? You reveal things you have no idea that you're revealing, because you live with yourself. You're housing you. So you may be a person who can read people's minds without them knowing, and you'll say something. And people don't believe that people can do this, but you can. It's a prophetic gift that you have to hone. Okay, you can hone this gift, but just because you can doesn't mean we should. But you can almost speak the thoughts of a person without them. You can access the thought of a person without them knowing it. If you're in their energy, like just sitting right next to them, you know some things that they're doing that nobody's supposed to know. And you may not know yourself or your gift. So you might repeat something and that person will be like, hold up. They won't say nothing, but they may say, hold up, this person is almost reading my mind. Okay? Like, you're gifted. You don't know that you're gifted because you come from a family where you've been robbed a lot. So you might get songs, spiritually gifted people, you get messages through songs, right? We get messages through signs, symbols, and wonders. Wherever we go, we always get messages. And if we're sitting next to you, it's nothing against you. I just know stuff I shouldn't know. This is why we're so prophetically gifted. We can touch somebody and we'll say, hey, do you, give me consent, or you come into agreement for me to pray for you. You'll know things that they're going through that you have no business knowing, and you won't tell them out loud, or you may tell them in the privacy that, Holy Spirit is telling me that such and such is going on with you. And they'd be like, oh my God, it is. That's the gift of prophecy. But a lot of us did not know we had these gifts. Okay, they were suppressed. Somebody casted a spell of forgetfulness on the souls of this person, and they were getting all these riches and manifestations. And so, what happens to you? And I hope this is a blessing to somebody, and I hope that you stop being mad and resentful because those people were tethered to you. I hope that you forgive these people because they're not people, they're spirits. Forgive them because they introduce you to yourself. You are free. You are free. You are free today. Okay? And you can go back and take your soul's life, and you go take your life path back and go live in your life that you were supposed to live. And I hope that this sets you free and you have a breakthrough of a lifetime, because you were supposed to be blocked forever. Okay? This is for whoever you are. But you have these people who come into your life, friends, fake lovers, whoever, and they get to witness your glory. But you don't know yourself completely, okay? And they are like, oh my God, this person is reading my mind. Oh my God, this person is seeing my, because narcissists live double lives, triple lives. But you have the gift of sight. You can see, you're a seer. You didn't know that you were a seer, but you could see that they were living a different life. You're able to see beyond the mask, but you didn't know. So you disclosed things and educated the enemy without you knowing. This is what puts you in a dangerous place, which is why you should be on your knees thanking God every day that you are still alive. People will take your life for accessing them without their consent, because people are not supposed to know that people are living criminal lives and double lives. And you understand? Even the government agencies use psychics, they use prophetic people all the time. CIA, FBI, these people, they use the spiritually gifted people to help them solve cases. Some of your best detectives are gifted people. Glory be to God. And so the whole thing of the matter is that you did not know. And I hope that this bless you on your journey so you can go get into the career that you're supposed to be in. Stop claiming poverty. You're not downtrodden. Nobody's blocking you anymore. Okay? I don't care what agency they think they're working for, what brotherhood, sisterhood, Mason, Eastern Star. I don't care what they think they are. Just like they were able to navigate life, you have the door. It's open to you now. This is your day of restoration and freedom. Okay? Go do what you're supposed to do. You don't need permission to go back and get yourself. Okay? God says your gift would make room for you. This is stuff I really never wanted to talk about. I only really talk about this stuff with my clients to help them set them free and bring their lives back to them, because we have gifted people who have no business being poor, broke, homeless, feeling defeated, down on their luck. And it's not just money. It's people feeling isolated, alone, that they have nobody. This is a lie from the pits of hell. You've always had family. We've always been here. You have never been without tribe, never been without community members, destiny helpers. It was a lie to make you come into agreement with a spell that was casted to keep you in a perpetual cycle of lack, poverty, isolation, abandonment, neglect. And ultimately, you were supposed to just forfeit your whole life, and then the sacrifice will be complete, because many people just throw in the towel and they just check out. But it is those of us who are prophetically gifted, who God has called to keep you on this planet, to reveal things that were supposed to be hidden forever from you. And I'm doing this out of just courage. But what happens is you meet these men and women, friends and people, and they get an opportunity to see you in your gift without your knowledge. And these people are like, this person I ain't never seen nothing like this. You become an enigma to people. Some of you guys have no idea how powerful you are. You wonder why it's groups of people always trying to go to war with you. You are very unproblematic. You are the solution person. You are friends to everybody. You make everyone feel visible, everyone feel heard, but yet people want to make you feel invisible, want to make you feel like your voice doesn't matter.